Season started off pretty strong with Shokugeki no Soma Season 2. It's just as fun and as wacky as it was for the first season. The characters are still the same, the direction is still really good, and it still has the same mental presentation as it did from the get-go. It's less character focused, it's more done well in terms of action, but it's nice to see JC staff are actually taking the time to adapt the series properly. They clearly care about what they're doing, and they're really happy to see where the series is going next. It has 2 arcs left, and I'm not going to sit around and hope for a 3rd season, but the series does sell well, so it's always a possibility. New Game is exactly what it says in the tin. It's just a slice of life about some moe girls really doing nothing. Not to say I overuse the term, but that's generally what it is. It has no depth, there's no real story, it's really just a meandering slice of life with moe girls being moe girls, really. Even go as far as drinking tea. Now that's what I'd call following a stereotype. By no means is it a bad series though. It's pretty average actually. I'd probably add it under the kind of guilty pleasure section of the season. It's fun and cute, but that's really it. I doubt I'll remember it in the next year. Surprisingly, it actually has an interesting premise, an interesting setting as well. Something that has potential to grow, but it really does nothing with it. It's kind of just moe blobs sitting around and drinking tea. I mean, I have nothing against that, but it's kind of a waste. Unlike shows of its genre or that have similarities like Shirobako, that actually does something with its setting, this really doesn't, and it's kind of a shame, but that's just how it wants to be. Sweetness and Lightning is undeniably the most adorable show of the season. It has all the qualities that make a great slice of life series. A homey atmosphere, simple characters, and a really welcoming setting. Primarily the main focus of the show is a father and daughter relationship. It's reminiscent of Usagi Drop and has everything to stand above most in its genre. It's really fucking cute though, I can't deny that. Every episode makes me somewhat emotional and it does everything right. It hits all the right notes and I wouldn't have had it any other way. It's something I look forward to come back to every week. Not a lot has changed with the Heroic Tales of Arslan Season 2. I don't mean that in a completely bad way, but there's been very little story progression. A lot of it has been useless filler as well. There has been some interesting plot points that have been revealed, but I can't imagine it going anywhere this season, especially since it only has 8 episodes. For one thing, it still has really bad CGI. I mean, especially during battle scenes, it really makes me cringe. But either way, I'm not going to sit around and wait for a 3rd season, like a lot of shows this season. It hasn't done enough to stick out. The first season was a lot more memorable. It's kind of disappointing actually. 91 Days is a revenge story at its core. Sure, it has plenty of violence, rival mafia families and guns galore, but above all, it's a revenge story, and it makes that pretty clear. I appreciate the amount of effort that's actually been put into the look of the show. It's one of the most aesthetically pleasing shows of the season by far. It uses a really great colour palette and it really knows how to build tone as well. When it comes to action, it's pretty crazy and it's entertaining to watch, so it really does that well. The characters themselves, they're a mixed bag. I do feel it takes a lot of merit from Bacano at times. I know a lot of the guys from the crew who worked on Bacano are working on 91 Days and it really shows. But at the same time, you've got the same guy who did the character designs for Bacano who's working on 91 Days, so I can't help thinking that I'm actually watching Bacano at the same time when I'm watching 91 Days. It's a bit weird, but I still think it's a good show either way, and I'm really interested in seeing where it's going. Murasame Mononoke is a relaxing and mellow experience. It's something you can sit back, chill and watch and even get immersed into. It does follow a Monster of the Week formula at the beginning, but it slowly breaks away from that and forms a more serious storyline. The world is certainly one of the most interesting aspects of the show, and it's been explored in some detail, so it will be interesting to see where it actually goes with it. When it comes to characters, they're kind of okay. There is some serious backstory that has been foreshadowed for a while and will be covered eventually, but it's kind of a pain actually having to wait for it. It might not have the beauty or mystique of Mushishi, but it's something I'll be looking forward to coming back to every week. Days is about as simple and as typical as they come. If you had a list full of cliché and boring sports anime, Days would be on top. Not to say I hate the sports genre or anything, there are clearly shows I really love like Hajime no Ippo, Ping Pong and even Yowamushi Pedal, which I'm watching right now, that I like. But Days takes no risks. There is zero character progression and we're already 7 episodes in. It's a huge waste of time. If you like watching a typical wimpy kid kick a football around for 7 episodes and make zero progress, then Days is a show for you. Orange is fine. It's a typical shoujo romance. It really excels when it comes to the technical side of things. The direction, lighting and art are all fantastic. Again, I appreciate the technical side of things, but there's really no raw emotional investment for me at all. I don't care about the romance or the drama. You need some sort of suspension of disbelief when it comes to this show, because not everything is going to be explained, especially when it comes to its time resetting premise. Hiroshi Yamazaki is a talented guy. He knows what he's doing. If you haven't seen Steins Gate, I'd recommend you checking it out, because the direction is really one of the best aspects of Orange. Time resetting is something other anime have done before, and probably about 1,000,000 times. In fact, I can already think of at least 3 other anime in the last year that have done it. But Orange has a clear grasp in it and knows how to do it well. You need to have some sort of suspension of disbelief to actually get into it, because if you're the kind of person that's really nitpicky and picks stuff apart, you're not going to enjoy this. Subtle tension has been built up throughout Orange's later episodes, and any immersion is honestly broken by the main character's stupid decision making. I get that this is a life-changing event, but when it comes to her unwillingness to actually take action, it's really annoying and it makes me want to blow my brains out half the time. Well, this is my first actual video where you get to hear my voice. I do sound a bit lame and my voice is awkward as all hell, but I'd say I'm happy with it. The editing software I used was really bad, and cutting the audio up in Audacity wasn't the best. Especially in my really horrible accent, it might be hard to make out what I'm saying, but I guess you'll just have to put up with it. Hopefully I could get more of these videos out, or something similar, but right now this is the best I can do. Thanks for watching if you are, and cheers.